Hello, and welcome to your Sunday Slowdown. As you know, my name is Tanya, and I will be guiding you through for the next 45 to 50 minutes or so of just slowing down. Now, we do have a full moon, so the full moon is generally a time of heightened energy. And it is a full moon in Gemini. So that is a sign which is all about movement and being like a social butterfly and, communicating and socializing and all these wonderful things. So you may not particularly feel like slowing down. But, this is a practice that you can come back to time and time again when you need to feel grounded, when you need some focus, some clarity, and just to come home to yourself. So, with that in mind, we shall begin with just a breathing exercise called Nadi Shodhana, known as alternate nostril breathing. And basically what we're doing is we're breathing in our left nostril and out our right, and then in our right nostril and out our left. And that's one round. And then we just keep repeating that. You can physically block your nostrils. The easiest way to do it is just to get your index finger and your pointer finger and place them in between your eyebrows. And then you've got your thumb and your ring finger, which just sit in that little curve of your nose. Dip it there, and they just gently press in, depending on which nostril you are breathing in and out of. If that feels a bit weird to you, if you don't actually want to be touching your face, you can just energetically imagine that you're breathing in one nostril and out the other. And, doing it this way, breathing in and out, and then in and out again, the opposite direction, helps really balance us. But if you are wanting to relax a little bit more, you can just be breathing in your left and out your right, in left, out right. Or if you want a little bit more oomph in your day, you can be breathing in your right and out your left and do that circular motion. So there are some choices for you. And it's a technique that you can use at any time for balance and focus. So let's get started. So get your index finger and your middle finger, pop them in place in between your eyebrows. And then ring and thumb just resting on the side of your nose. And just breathe in through both nostrils to begin with. And then gently close off your right nostril. Breathe in your left. Close your left. Breathe out your right. Breathe in your right. Close right. Breathe out left. And that's one round. Let's go again. Breathe in left. Close left. Breathe out right. Breathe in right. Close right. Breathe out left. Breathe in left. Close. Breathe out right. Breathe in right. Close. Breathe out left. Breathe in left. Breathe out right. Breathe in right. Breathe out left. And keep going. Your own breath. The next time you breathe out your left nostril, just gently take your hand away and place it in your lap. Just breathe in and out of both nostrils. let's get started with our yin shapes. So the first one for this practice is a child's pose. So you can use any number of props here. If you've got a bolster, that's great. Otherwise, a couple of cushions or a rolled up blanket can be really nice here. Yeah, just take your knees as far apart as is comfortable for you. If you are pregnant, just don't take them out too wide, just bring them in a little bit. And for this one, it can feel really nice to lie down onto your bolster or your pillows. And just turn your head to one side. Arms can be loose by your side, maybe they're back towards your body and shoulders are rounded. Whatever feels good for you. Just settle in. So just remember, in our yin practice, we don't go to our edge. You know, a good rule of thumb is to begin with a 4 or a 5 out of 10. And then just allow time and gravity and your breath to soften into each shape a little bit more. We'll be holding each of these shapes for about 3 minutes each today. And in yin, it's very closely linked to traditional Chinese medicine, with each shape working on particular meridian lines in the body, which are energy channels. And so our focus today is on the stomach and the spleen meridian line, which are connected with having an appetite for life, motivation, movement. And those are things which are also connected with Gemini. Got 1 minute remaining here. You might like to turn your head to the other side. And just 3 more breaths. And then on an exhale, just gently push yourself back up. And sit back on your heels. And just place your hands in your lap and gaze gently down at them. Just resetting. All right, now we are going to take a squat. So here again, it can be nice to have something underneath you. That's a bolster, your pillow. And just take your legs out wide and have your elbows pressing against your knees. And if you were to do this in a yang class, like a flow or vinyasa, hatha, you would be doing this without a prop underneath you and being really quite active with it. But here we're just being yin and gentle. You can close your eyes and dip your head. If you are pregnant, it's probably better for you to take frog, which is similar to a child's pose in that your toes are together, your knees are out. But you're coming down onto your elbows like so. Again, don't go too far out with your knees here. In pregnancy, you are a little bit more flexible than you normally would be because of the hormone, and you don't want to overdo it. And even if you aren't pregnant, if you are feeling like those options aren't feeling good for you, you can come down onto your back and just hold onto the sides of your feet in the happy baby. We're all targeting the same area, just the inner thighs. Your hips here are getting a bit of love. Just breathe deeply into your belly. So again, both the stomach, spleen, and the sign of Gemini are associated with information processing, confidence, focus, communication, movement, curiosity. And if you're feeling a little depleted in any of those areas, these shapes and tuning into the energy of Gemini can help bring them back into a bit more balance. Just 5 more breaths here. Take your hands down to the mat or beside you. Take your legs out long. You bend your knees up and down. Coming out straight for a moment. Next, we'll take half saddle. So this can feel a little challenging for some people. So if it's not feeling good for you, you can come onto your belly, elbows underneath your shoulders, and take Sphinx pose. But give saddle a try. See how it goes for you. So what we do is we have our left leg out straight to start with, and bring your right leg, bend it at the knee, right foot beside your buttocks. Yeah. And, you know, depending on how your ankle is, you can have your foot out, you know, at whatever angle feels good for your knee. And for some people, just staying up upright, high as you like, is enough. And again, particularly if you're pregnant, staying up high is a good thing for you to do. Otherwise, you can come down as deep as you like. using any props that you like to support you. Arms are just out to the side. You know, you'll be feeling this probably in your quad, depending on how far you've gone back. You might even have a little bitty back bend here in the lumbar spine. If you have any pain, any pinching, please come out of it. Just operate at a height that feels good for you. Like I said, we're only working at a 4 or 5 out of 10 to start with. Just allowing things to soften. So sometimes with Gemini, because of the nature of the sign, it's an air sign ruled by Mercury. It can feel a little all over the place, and particularly we are just coming to the end of the Mercury retrograde. So the last few weeks may have felt a little bit chaotic in some way, a little busier than usual. And you might have felt a bit distracted and pulled in all directions. Working with these meridian lines in these shapes, it helps us with our capacity to concentrate or focus. And to also be creative and listen to our intuition. You know, rather than operating from the mind, which Mercury, Gemini does, helps us get into our feeling mind. Just slightly breath. To come out of this, just push up with your elbows, with your hands, slowly, slowly, gently does it. Then take your right leg nice and long, and just sit up straight, allowing things to soften. And then set up for the other side, bending your left knee. And our bodies aren't always symmetrical, so you might find that this side is a little tighter. Don't feel like you have to go to the same level, same degree as the other side. Just gently start to explore. And come on down to whatever feels good for you. If you're in Sphinx, you can stay in Sphinx. Or else push up with your hands, take your arms long and go into a seal. The other things that these meridian lines help us with to be connected and grounded, nurturing, without being overbearing. So it's helping us discern between smothering someone and allowing them to, make their own decisions, seeing them live their life, make their own choices, but also being there for them in ways that they need. We're halfway through this shape. Five more breaths here. You soften a little bit more. And then on an exhale, gently push yourself back up to the seat. And take your left leg long. Move your support out of the way. And just come down onto your back. And bending your knees, feet on the floor could feel nice. Even just a hug of your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little cuddle. After being such prolonged back bend, it's just nice to settle your spine. Mm-hmm. Next, we'll take the reclined butterfly. And again, it can be really nice to have something to lean on in this shape. Come to a seat, bring your feet together, knees out. You can always support your knees with a cushion underneath or blocks. Especially, again, if you're pregnant, we don't want to be putting too much extra strain on your joints. And there is the option just to stay seated, stay upright here. Or again, just lying back on your support and taking your arms overhead if that feels nice. Any tingling in your arms, just bring them back by your side or place them on a cushion. I always find that this is such a soft and nurturing shape. Coming back to ourselves, the home within ourselves. Again, be feeling this in your hips, your groin. You might even have a little flexion in your spine, Just stretching your arms if they're overhead. Really working into different areas of the body. You've got 1 more minute here. And just 3 more breaths. And then if your arms are overhead, bring them back by your side. Draw your knees together. And just roll off your prop. And just lay on your side for a little bit. Just resting your head and your arm. Allowing that to settle. When you're ready, bring yourself up to a seat. Our next shape is called cat pulling its tail. And again, this isn't one for pregnancy, and also go slow if you have lower back issues. There is an option to just take a reclined twist, which is just dropping your knees over to one side. If it doesn't, feel good for you, just take that option. But if you are taking cat pulling its tail, a way that I like to come into it is from my stomach. Now I bring my left knee up parallel with my hip, so it's at this right angle here. Gently push myself up with my left hand, spread my right underneath, and roll over onto my back. If you can't get all the way onto your back, you can pop a pillow there, and that can feel good. And then if you've got flexibility, if it feels right, bend your right leg up and take the foot with your left hand. So it's all twisty here. Here we've got our quads, if you've taken the foot, spinal twist. And to me, this is a very Gemini shape. It's about twisting in all directions. Gemini knows how to adapt to different situations. And here we're working into our body in different ways. And we're halfway through the shape. And just 5 more breaths. And if you've taken your foot in your hand, gently release it. Slowly, slowly. And then roll onto your stomach. And now take a rebound here. And take your arms by your side and cheek to the mat. And just allow it to settle. And take cat pulling its tail on the other side. So bring your right knee up to be parallel with your hip. A nice right angle with your leg there. Push yourself up with your right hand. Spread your left underneath and open yourself up. And again, just place a cushion underneath your shoulder if you need. You can stay kind of a little bit higher. If you want to take your left foot in your right hand, feel free to reach down and do so. I was wondering why it was feeling a little less than the other side. And just one more minute here. Five more breaths. And just gently release your foot and slowly bring it down. And roll over onto your belly for another rebound. Arms by your side and cheek to the mat. Okay, we'll finish off today's sequence with a sleeping swan. We'll start with our right leg first. Just come into a tabletop position and bring your right knee behind your right wrist. Some people also find it easier to come into it from a downward facing dog and just swing their leg into place. Whatever works for you. Do that. We take our left leg long behind us. You need to prop up your right hip with a cushion or a rolled up blanket, then do so. It can be nice to have something in front of you to come down on. If it's uncomfortable for you to do sleeping swan, you come onto your back, take your right ankle onto your left knee, have a figure four, threading your arms through if that feels good. Or else, if you're pregnant, a square pose works beautifully as well if your belly's in the way. So that's just your right foot on your left knee. Or like an easy cross-legged as well. It's a good option. Settle in. The beauty of our sleeping swan is that we are working with the meridian lines of the lower body. So along with the stomach and spleen, you're also hitting liver, kidney, urinary bladder, gallbladder. So it's a real bang for buck shape. And you get the beautiful feeling in your hips, groin, spine, glutes. Some people feel it in their IT band. So it's a great shape for lots of different reasons. We're about halfway through. And just 5 more breaths. And slowly come on up. It can be nice to take an active rebound here, pushing back to a down facing dog. And pedaling out your legs. Maybe you just like to lie on your belly. Then when you're ready, set up to the other side, taking your left knee behind your left wrist. Right leg out nice and long. Any props that you need, put them in place. And settling. We're halfway through the shape. And just 5 more breaths here. Gently rise on up. Take whatever rebound feels good for you, whether that's active in a downward facing dog, or on your belly, on your back. And when you're ready, set yourself up for your Shavasana. You might like to have a bolster or some pillows underneath your knees. Maybe a blanket over the top. Snuggle in a little bit. Your feet can be as far apart as feels good. Arms wide, take up as much space as you want. You just settle into the mat, and I'll let you know when it's time to come out. You're welcome to stay in your Shavasana for as long as you like. But if it's time for you to come out, start to deepen your breath. Slowly start to bring your awareness back to your body, back to the room you are in. You might like to lick your lips or swallow a couple of times. Start to bring some gentle movement to your body, wiggling your fingers and toes. Maybe turn your head gently from side to side. And gradually allow these movements to become bigger. Maybe taking your arms overhead for a nice stretch. When you're ready, roll to your preferred side, resting your head on your arm like a little pillow. Stay here for a few breaths, just recalibrating. When you're ready, bring yourself up to a seat. And hands can be at heart center in prayer position. Or maybe you rest one hand on your belly, one on your heart. And just allow yourself to feel gratitude for taking time out of your day to connect in with yourself, to move your body, to practice some new shapes. We bow to ourselves and to each other as we say, thank you. Thank you for joining me. And I hope you have a beautiful Sunday and a beautiful week. I'll catch you next time. Bye.